3-0. Danny Cater at third base hitting fifth. At first base batting sixth, Johnny Ellis. Ron Swoboda getting a start today in right field batting seventh. The sixth, Gene Michael at shortstop hitting eighth. And pitching and batting ninth, Steve Klein. And walking in from the bullpen area right now is Steve Klein, who had been loosening up out there. Grant Jackson, the left-hander pitching for Baltimore, warmed up right alongside home plate. And it's a little unusual. He has completed his warm-ups. It is a beautiful day. It doesn't take you very long to get warmed up, but usually the visiting pitcher takes a little more time because he has a half inning to wait on the bench. Whereas the starting pitcher for the home team comes in, concludes his warm-up, dries off with a towel, and goes right out there to pitch the top of the first inning. So, a beautiful day, another good crowd, and I tell you, all the crowds here have been excitable crowds. They've really enjoyed the ball game. Right now, a reminder, this is the New York Yankee Baseball Network, and we pause now for station identification.
This is Shannon in the morning, coming your way Monday through Saturday, 5:30 to 10, here on the fresh air sound of Radio 81, WGY Schenectady.
All right, we're waiting for the umpires to come out, and I've got still another correction to make. Funny how your memory fails you as the years go by. A lot of people have been asking me how many no-hit, no-run games that I was involved in, and the most I could think of was 3, but actually there were 4, and I had forgotten that Allie Reynolds pitched 2 no-hit, no-run games in 1951. The first one at Cleveland, he shut out the Indians 1-0. That was on July 12th, a night game. And then Allie beat the Boston Red Sox, and that one everybody remembers because of the unusual ending of that game when Ted Williams, with 2 out in the top of the ninth, fouled one high to Yogi Berra in front of the Yankee dugout, and Yogi dropped it for an error. And then on the very next pitch, Ted Williams fouled it in the exact same spot. And this time Yogi squeezed it, and Reynolds squeezed Yogi, and that ball had no chance of getting away from Yogi and Reynolds. And then Virgil Truck pitched a no-hit, no-run game against the Yankees in 1952, beat us 1-0, and Bob Feller in 1956, 46, pitched one against the Yankees. On April 30th, again a 1-0 ball game. So there were 4 no-hit, no-run games I was involved in, 2 for the Yankees and 2 against. And they are exciting games, I'll tell you. The adrenaline really flows in those games when it gets down to the last 2 innings. And you're kind of hoping they don't hit the ball to you, and sometimes you hope they do. But right now, we got a big ball game coming up as Ralph Houck and Earl Weaver leave the huddle at home plate. The umpires, Jim Honeychurch calling balls and strikes. Larry McCoy will be at first base, Jim Odom at second, and Marty Springstead over at third. Sun shining brightly, not a cloud in the sky here at the stadium. All the fans, shirt sleeves, sitting back, enjoying the refreshments, and waiting for the Yankees to run out on the field, and there they go, led by Johnny Ellis. Right now, Bob Shepard making the announcement over the PA system, asking everybody to rise and join Robert Merrill in the singing of our national anthem.
But so proudly we say
the young right-hander, Steve Klein, out on the mound, has won 8, lost 10. Against Baltimore, not too much luck this year or career-wise. He's 0-2 this year and 0-3 lifetime. He's lost both his starts to Baltimore, 6-1 on April 16th and 10-4 on June the 20th. Now, all 8 of his wins this year have been complete games. So when Steve Klein has been good, he's been very, very good. But the Yankees have won 5 of 6, and they continue to have the best record in the American League East since the All-Star break with a 16-10 mark. We look at the batting averages in the American League. Tony Oliva still leading at 374, and he continues to go up and up. Unbelievable. Bobby Mercer at 338. Amos Otis at 317, and Rick Reichert and Cookie Rojas at 311. In home runs, Bill Melton and Norm Cash lead with 25, Reggie Smith 23, and then Mercer right behind them with 21. And in RBIs, Mercer is second, tied with Sal Bando at 71. Killebrew leads with 74. All right, the ball game ready to start here as Don Buford steps in, batting .283, 11 doubles, 3 triples, 14 homers, 43 runs batted in, 12 stolen bases. Switch hitter batting left-hander. Klein winds his pitch, lined up base hit to right field. Sloboda can't get it. It bounces over his head. And Buford will get at least a triple on this. He is steaming in at third, and he'll go in standing up. As Sloboda went to his right, the field had hard hit line drive. It took a big hop over his glove, rolled to the bullpen gate. And Buford is on with a triple. What a weird bounce that ball took. Sloboda leaped as high as he could. It just took off and well over his glove. So the Orioles, on the first pitch of the ball game, have Buford with his 4th triple of the year at third base. The batter is Mark Belanger. Belanger, the shortstop, hitting .264. Now, the Yankees have only pulled Cater and Ellis in at third and first, but Michael and Clark are back. The stretch, the pitch to Belanger is low ball 1. Belanger has 17 doubles, no triples, no homers, 31 runs batted in. Also has 6 stolen bases. A right-hand batter choked up on the bat. That little Buford can fly. Klein from the set position. His pitch, ground ball to Michael. Are going to hold the runner at third, throw to first base. They got Belanger. How do you like that? For some reason, Buford did not go in. We told you the infield was playing back. The ball was not hit that hard, but Buford had committed himself and started back to third. So there's a big break for the Yankees. One away, and now Michael has moved in at short. And Clark, with his hands in the air, want to know where to play. And now they're moving Michael back. So Michael and Clark again back at short and second. Ellis and Cater are in at first and third. And Frank Robinson batting .291 up there. Right down the end of the bat. Klein's pitch, a curve over the outside corner, strike 1 call. Robbie has 11 doubles, 1 triple, 18 homers, 66 runs batted in. And Frank has 3 stolen bases. Used to be one of the top base stealers, but now when you get a little old, you pick your spots. And I imagine all 3 of those stolen bases help win a ball game. He can do it when he has to. But when you get a little older and you slide, you can hurt yourself more easily. The stretch by Klein. Fastball right in there. 0-2, and he crossed up Frank Robinson that time. Looked like Robbie was looking for a breaking pitch and took the fastball just about knee-high, cut the plate in half. On deck, Big Boo Powell. Buford still at third. He opened the ball game with a triple. Klein gets the sign from Munson. Here's the stretch. And the pitch to Kirk just missed the corner, and I tell you, if it missed, it didn't miss by more than 1/8 of an inch. What a beautiful pitch by Steve Klein. It was a breaking pitch. He Wanted to make a perfect one and almost did. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Steve set. A bouncer foul. He had Robbie reaching for that ball. Hit it right off the end of the bat. Picked up by Billy Hunter in the coaching box at third. George Stoller is the coach at first for the Birds. Baltimore leading the American League East by 5.5 games over the Red Sox. 8.5 over Detroit and 13 over the Yankees. All right, the stretch by Klein. Oh, I'm telling you, he is just barely missing that outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes. I know Frank Robinson has a great eye, but I don't think it's that great where he has been able to take 2 pitches that have been just fractions of an inch off home plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The kick and the pitch is fouled and the upper deck out of play. What a battle here between Robinson and Klein. Frank just trying to get a piece of that ball to drive in the run. Klein, of course, looking for the big strikeout or the pop-up or the ground ball right back to him. Keep that runner at third. Steve sets, checks Buford. His pitch is a check swing pop-up, but it's coming back in the crowd out of play. He had Robinson pulled, and Frank's bat went halfway between home and third, where Cater picks it up and flips it to Robbie. Steve Klein has made some real good pitches to Frank Robinson. He's still got to make one more, though, to get out of this jam. All right, Steve, glove on a knee. Gets the sign to the belt. The pitch, a little low, and it's 3-2. That's the first pitch that was not near the strike zone. Full count on Frank Robinson. Frank Robinson, who needs one more home run to move into 11th place on the list of all-time leaders, has 493 lifetimes. Tied with Lou Gehrig. Here's the stretch. The pitch for Robbie. Curve foul just off the end of the bat. Had the Yankees jumping in the dugout, Frank Baker just got out of the way. Another good pitch. And Robinson hit it right off the very end of the bat. Still 3-2. 1 out. No score. Top of the first. Buford led off the game with a triple. Belanger bounced to short. Buford held third. He's still there. Now the stretch. And the pitch. Ground ball at second base. Clark is up with it. We'll have to play to first base. The run scores. And the Orioles lead 1-0. So Frank Robinson gets a run batted in. His 67th of the year. And it brings up Big Bruce Powell. Powell hitting .229, 13 doubles, 15 homers, no triples, 56 runs batted in. Big left-hander having trouble with that wrist that he fractured. The change-up is in there, strike one called. Big Boog has been taking cortisone shots in the wrist to alleviate the pain so that he can play. The pitch is hit high in the air to left field, but Roy White moves in under it. Roy is there and makes the catch. But Baltimore picks up a run on one hit, the triple by Buford. No errors, nobody left, and at the end of one half inning, it's Baltimore 1, the Yankees coming to bat.
Here's good news for folks who use rental trucks or trailers to move their household furnishings or for miscellaneous hauling jobs. U-Haul dealers now honor Bank AmeriCard and Master Charge cards for local and one-way rentals. No cash deposit is required. And you can include furniture pads, tow bars, and other moving aids, too. Cargo insurance included on trucks and trailers. And if you're planning a move soon, stop in at U-Haul for a free copy of the U-Haul Moving Guide. It shows how to plan your move, how to pack, and how you can save money. Remember, with U-Haul, you can move now and pay later. Just use your Bank Americard or Master Charge card at your nearest U-Haul dealers.
Skips Texaco, 151 Grand Street, Albany. Mayfair Texaco, 261 Saratoga Road, Glenville. And Airways Rent-A-Car, 660 Albany Shaker Road. Airport exit at the Northway. Or consult the yellow pages for the U-Haul dealer nearest you.
For the Yankees, it'll be Clark, Munson, and Mercer to face the left-hander Grant Jackson. Dick Hauser coaching at third. And Elston Howard is back from the old-timers game in Pittsburgh. Got to ask Ellie and Whitey how they made out in that game. Grant Jackson on the mound has won 3, lost 2, has no decisions against the Yankees this year or lifetime. Grant came over from the Phillies to Baltimore. The left-hander kicks, delivers a fastball in there, strike one call. Horace Clark hitting .240, 15 doubles, 5 triples, 2 homers, 30 runs batted in, 13 stolen bases. Ground ball hit to third. Brooks Robinson up with it. Fires to first, 1 out. Jackson had Clark off stride that time with a changeup. Here's Thurman Munson. Thurman hitting .261. Has 12 doubles, 4 triples, 8 homers, and 34 runs batted in, along with 5 stolen bases. Thurman taking time. Look at Grant Jackson, hands on his hips, shaking his head as Munson makes him wait out there. Still not ready. Now he's ready. Pitch by Jackson. Lined up, base hit to left field. Well, that Munson knows what he's doing. Gives the pitcher a little on edge. Got a good fastball to hit and drilled it to left field for a base hit. The batter, Bobby Mercer. Between Mercer and Bloomberg, they have really captured the fancy of the Yankee fans. Bobby, as we told you, hitting .338. 18 doubles, 5 triples, 21 homers, 71 runs batted in, 11 stolen bases. Pitch to Bobby. Swing and a miss, strike one. Mercer's hitting .500 this series. He's had 5 hits and 10 at-bats, including a double, a homer, 3 runs batted in, 3 walks, and 4 runs scored. Bobby Mercer is second in the league in runs scored with 76. Don Buford, who scored in the first inning, leads now with 78. All right, the stretch by Grant. Munson leads. The pitch to Mercer. High, 1-1. Mercer has really been hitting left-handers exceptionally well. Don Buford has 79 runs scored now with that 1 run he scored in the first inning. Pitch to Bobby, curve low. 2 balls and a strike. Baltimore 1, Yankees nothing in the bottom of the first. 1 out. Munson is at first base with his 84th base hit of the year. The stretch. And the pitch, line to right field, in for a base hit. That'll be extra bases. Bounces off the wall. Munson is around third, and they hold him up, and Mercer's in with a stand-up double. I want to tell you, that Mercer hit a high fastball, and he hit a line drive that really did sink. It looked like it was going to bounce into the seats, but it hit off the low wall, and Frank Robinson retrieved it. Dick Hauser held Munson up at third. Mercer is at second, with his 19th double of the year, his 135th base hit. And the batter, Roy White, who is hitting .279, 15 doubles, 5 triples, 15 homers, 65 runs, batted in, and 11 stolen bases. Runners lead away. The windup by Jackson. Pitch to White. Check swing foul just to our right. Roy White, remember, has 13 sacrifice flies this year. The American League record is 16. The National is 19. So Roy with a chance here. Jackson with the short windup. Foul will go out of play as Boo Powell and Dal Rempel chase it over the Yankee dugout. It's 0-2 on Roy White. 1 out. Munson at third. Mercer at second. The Birds leading 1-0. They play Roy White straight away. Jackson looks at Munson, then steps off the rubber. Now he's back on again. Gets the sign from Dalrymple. Long look in. Another look at Munson. Now he winds. The pitch is hit high in the air to left field. It's not too deep, but Munson is tagging. Buford coming in. Makes the catch. Munson's going to try it. Here's the throw. It's offline. He scores. Throw to third. Not in time. Munson scores, and Mercer tags up and goes to third base, and the ball game is tied up at 1-1. And for Roy White, sacrifice fly number 14 on the year. And you got to give Munson and Mercer a lot of credit there. Other runners would not have tried to score. The ball was not hit too deep. So the Yankees' speed pays off that inning as they tie up the ball game 1-1. Mercer is at third now with 2 out, and the batter, Danny Cater. Danny hitting .261. 13 doubles, 4 triples, 3 homers, 45 runs batted in. No stolen bases. Pitch to Danny. Right over the heart of the plate, strike 1 call. Mercer leading away at third. Well out in foul territory. Doesn't want to get hit with a line drive. Ground ball right at Davy Johnson. 1 hop. Well hit, but Johnson throws him out. The Yankees do try to score, though. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. And at the end of 1 full inning, it's Baltimore 1 and the Yankees 1.
Here's a message for the Cars of America. Cars, you may not know it, but to an Arco dealer, you're people. In the past, there was a big difference between the way your owner treated you and the way service stations treated you. Your owner treated you like a member of the family. Service stations treated you like a machine. At home, you were a trusted friend. In the shop, you were a stranger. Arco dealers have dedicated themselves to closing this gap. They have a service designed to treat you the way your owner treats you. Service designed to treat cars like people. With Arco Supreme Gasoline that helps you breathe easy. And with Arco oils and lubricants to give you the care and protection you need. So, Cars of America, take heart. Go to your Arco dealer. You'll never be treated like a machine again. To your Arco dealer. Cars are people.
So we got a brand new ball game here at Yankee Stadium. 1-1 as we go into the top of the second. And Merv Rettenmund will lead it off, hitting .305, the top Oriole hitter. 12 doubles, 3 triples, 8 homers, 46 runs batted in, 10 stolen bases. What a day! What a day! All right, Steve Klein is ready. Rettenmund, a right-hand batter. Close stance. Looks over that left shoulder. Klein's pitch is right in there. Strike ball. the outfield playing Redmond straight away. On deck, Brooks Robinson. Fastball just missed. It had part of the plate, but a little low. 1-1. It was really something pretty to watch. Steve Klein working on those Orioles hitters in the first inning. Almost got out of a tough jam. But Buford finally scored. A bouncer slowly to third, but it kicks foul. Billy Hunter in the coaching box. Up with it, and flips it back to Klein. Redmond outside the batter's box. No other scores to give as yet. But there's lots of action in both leagues. The 1-2 pitch, a little bit high, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Klein rocks back. Fastball bounced over his head. Michael, to his left, up with it near the bag. The throw in time. And Michael looked like a gazelle that time, like he had springs in his shoes. He was really bouncing all over the infield. That's right, a Tennessee walking horse, Chief Morris says. Dean is a very graceful fielder, one of the most graceful of all shortstops. But that time he did something we hadn't seen him do. Little prancing out there. But this kind of weather makes you feel great. You want to jump for joy. Here's Brooks Robinson. Brooksy takes the curve over strike call. Hitting .282, 16 doubles and triples, 13 homers, 68 runs batted in. Brooks was on Jack Spector's show yesterday after the game. I listened for a whole hour. Very interesting. Never heard him talk so much. Curve hit high in the air to deep left center, but Bobby Mercer flips the glasses down. Is there, makes the catch, and they're a 2-away. Can't get too excited about balls hit to deep left center, or right center here at the stadium. Not a room to roam. But you can get excited with the kind of ball like Davy Johnson hit yesterday. Right down the line, and everybody using body English. The Yankees leaning to the left, and Davy Johnson to the right. And Johnson's body English won as it stayed fair and hit the foul pole for a 2-run homer. The deciding hit in the game yesterday, as Baltimore got only 2 hits and 3 runs off Mike Keckett. Pitch to Johnson. Low ball 1. Davy batting .279, 17 doubles and triples, 13 homers, 49 runs batted in. Pitch to Johnson is popped up on the right side. Horace Clark calls for it between first and second, makes the catch, and easy inning for Steve Klein. 3 up, 3 down, and now at the end of an inning and a half, it's Baltimore 1 and the Yankees 1.
You know, a cold glass of Schaefer beer goes great with everything from hot dogs to charcoal broiled steak. But what it goes with best is another cold glass of Schaefer, because the flavor of Schaefer keeps right on rewarding your taste glass after glass. You get first beer pleasure every beer through. So while you're enjoying your weekend, why not treat yourself to some frosty cold Schaefer? It's one fair weather friend that'll never let you down.
One little heart when you're having more than
You sure hate to inject a note of sadness on such a beautiful day with a good game going on, but watching that football game last night and seeing Joe Namath get injured after really working for one of the real few times all spring, great shape, looked great. And when he tried to tackle Mike Lucci, that knee popped again, and no telling how long Joe's going to be out. Some encouraging news said he might be back before the season's over. Let's hope so. Johnny Ellis up there takes a curve in the dirt, ball 1. Johnny batting .236. Jackson's pitch, check swing grounded to third, but it kicks foul, and it's 1-1. Ellis has 7 doubles, a triple, 3 homers, 20 runs batted in. See where sudden Sam McDowell has decided to rejoin the Indians. On the outside corner, a ball and 2 strikes. Sometimes ball players get bad advice. Sam definitely did when he said he didn't want to pitch for them anymore. But you miss one paycheck, and it hurts. Low curve line, but right at Belanger, the shortstop. He was going to leap, found he didn't have to, just reached up and grabbed it. Just like picking cherries, one away. And now Ron Swoboda. They know Ron's around. One way or the other, he's batting .247. He has a triple, a homer, and 12 runs batted in. Jackson's pitch in there, strike ball. Fastball on the inside corner, strike 2. The 2-strike pitch, just inside. Just missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on. 1-1 the score. Bottom of the second. Jackson lines. Lined up base hit to right field in between first and second. Swoboda has excellent power out to right and right center. He's on. Michael coming up. This is the New York Yankee Baseball Network, and we pause for station identification.
This is your Guy High Agent. Join me for your kind of music, weekdays, 3 to 7, here on the fresh air sound of Radio 81, WGY Schenectady.
Pitch to Gene Michael, line to center field, but Redmond is right there. Makes the catch of that solidly hit ball, and Swoboda back to first. Gene hit it right on the button. He was up there hitting .244. Now Steve Klein batting .167. 1 double, 1 run batted in. Two men are out. Swoboda at first base. Stretch by Jackson. Hit in the air, foul, and back in the upper deck out of play. Jackson ready again. Short lead by Swoboda. The pitch high and outside, 1-1. Jackson likes to pitch in a hurry. He kicks, delivers a curved swing and a miss. A good breaking pitch by Jackson. Steve Klein chopping right down on it, missed it. A ball and 2 strikes. He's ready again. Curve, line to right field. That's going to be in for extra bases. That goes foul. Oh, just missed hitting the foul line. So Swoboda, who was almost at third, cuts across the infield back to first, and Steve Klein comes back. Man, that was close. Outfield playing shallow on Steve. Jackson sets. Curve, full foul. He got out in front of that one. Bouncing down the left field line. The ball boy falls down as he tripped over the foul line. Picks up the ball, a little embarrassed, but gets it in. He was hustling. That's all you can ask. Again, the stretch. And the pitch inside, 2-2. Line choking up on the bat. Jackson set. The pitch a little high, and it's ball 3, so Swoboda will be off with the pitch. Big crowd here from the Square and Compass Club of Muncie, Pennsylvania. They were here yesterday and today. All right, there goes Swoboda. The ball is in there. Strike 3 call. Good pitch by Grant Jackson, picking up his first strikeout of the ball game. For the Yankees, no runs, a base hit, no errors, a man left. And now, at the end of 2 full innings, it's still Baltimore 1 and the Yankees 1.
If you're going to move, why not do it yourself with U-Haul, as more than 6 million families do every year? Save as much as 50% or more of the usual cost and move at your convenience, not someone else's. U-Haul trucks and trailers are available in a full range of sizes. There's one that's just right for your move. You can rent equipment from your nearest U-Haul dealer and leave it with a dealer in your new neighborhood, even if you're going clear across the country. U-Haul has low one-way rental rates, insurance, guaranteed tires, and free road service. And cargo insurance is included on trucks and trailers. U-Haul has a moving guide that helps plan your move and makes the job a lot easier. Stop in at your nearest U-Haul dealers.
Tellerico and Sons Arco, Route 4 to Freestville, John's Texaco, Kinderhook Street, Malatia, and Airways Rent-A-Car, 660 Albany Shaker Road, Airport exit at the Northway, or consult the yellow pages for the U-Haul dealer nearest you.
I was the model student in school. Yes, sir. Used to sit in the first row, first seat. No, right in front of the teacher. Brought an apple every day. Never got in trouble. Used to clap the erasers, clean the blackboard, open the windows. Anything to get out of doing schoolwork. But I never got in trouble. Clay Dalrymple leads off. Clay Dalrymple hitting .265. Has 1 double, 1 homer, 5 runs batted in. Takes the pitch inside, ball 1. Dalrymple, a left-hand batter. Outfield swung around towards right. Andy Etchebarren was hit with a foul tip on his throwing hand yesterday. Swing and a miss. Almost fell down, 1-1. One ball game with nobody out, nobody on in the top of the 3rd. There's a pitch a little high, 2-1. The 2-1 delivery inside, 3-1. So now they want to take a look at that ball. Three balls, 1 strike on Clay Dalrymple. Klein's pitch fouled back, and it's a full count. By the way, on that Mickey Mantle Clinic, which will be held Saturday, August 14th, when the Oakland A's are here, it will be held at 1:15 and not 12:50. At 1:15. Well, it still pays to get here early, but there'll be a mob out there to see the Mick. A full count on Dalrymple, leading off the top of the 3rd. The payoff pitch, ground ball in the hole, base hit to left field, and Clay went with that pitch beautifully. It was blown away from him. Didn't try to pull it. That's the second hit for Baltimore, and the batter now will be Grant Jackson. Jackson batting .063. He has 1 hit and 16 at-bats. That hit a home run, though, and 1 run batted in. But the Yankees will be looking for the sacrifice attempt. Ellis holds the bag against Dalrymple. The stretch by Klein. He squares, bunts the ball in front of the plate. Munson goes to second. Michael. He's out. He was able to hold his foot on the bag. If Munson had made a perfect throw, they'd have had a double play. Thurman bounced right out there, got it just in front of home plate. But Michael made a fine play, keeping that foot on the bag. So that play goes 1-6. It's the fourth play. Jackson safe at first, Dalrymple out at second. Brings up Buford, who tripled a right his first time up and scored. Got the pitches for the California series. Tuesday night will be Stan Bonson against Ken Wright. Clyde Wright, that is. Wednesday, Mel Stottlemyre against Andy Messersmith. And Thursday, it'll be Peterson against Mays. Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon, Thursday night. First pitch is high. Ball one to Buford. Mark Belanger on deck. One man out. Jackson leads away. The curve is fouled back on the screen and out of play. 1-1. Big gap in left center field for Buford. Switch hitter batting left-handed against Klein. Jackson leads. Fastball is low and away, 2-1. Jackson looks like he wants to try and steal second. Looks like he might be a pretty good base runner. A lot of times, pitchers don't pay too much attention to opposing pitches when they get on base. If they can get a pretty good walking jump, they'll try it once in a while. The stretch. The curve way high and outside, 3-1. So Andy Etchebarren, we find out, can play if necessary. Earl Weaver would love to give him a whole day or two off. And look at that. Happy birthday to our own Frank Messer. Frank Messer. We'll find out how old Frank is. The pitch is in there. Strike call, 3-2. Some guys like to keep their birthdays quiet. I don't. I like people to know that I've reached another milestone. Yeah, I like to get cakes on my birthday. Frank Steele. I'm not going to tell you how old I am. But my birthday is September 25th. There, Jackson's going. The ball is a base hit to right field. Jackson's around second. He's going to go to third. The throw is cut off. So they had him running, and it enabled him to go to third base. And he's not a bad base runner because he almost got hit with that solid base hit by Don Buford. Jumped out of the way just in time. Buford now 2 for 2, and the Birds threatening again with runners at first and third and one out. Now the Yankees have to be alert with Belanger up there for the possible squeeze play. Michael comes in now to talk with Steve Klein. Also, the play that the Birds tried to work yesterday with Buford at first. He takes off. Chopin, who was at third, broke a little late. He's supposed to break just as Buford breaks, and when a pitcher wheels and throws to first, he's got a good chance of scoring. They worked that on the Yankees earlier in the year, but they're alert to that play now. It's a good one. It confuses the opposition. All right, Steve Klein ready. Ellis holds the bag against Buford. Here's the stretch. And the pitch. A little bit high, ball one. A 1-1 ball game, but the Birds are threatening in the top of the third. First and third and one out. Belanger bounced to short first time up. The stretch. Curve is in there. Strike call. Delayed call by Jim Honeychek. Proud to say a little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Grant Jackson, who can run at third, and Buford, who can really run at first. Belanger with good speed at the plate. Here's the stretch. We'll watch the runners. He bunts, but foul. It was not the suicide squeeze. It was the safety squeeze. which I think is a very dangerous play. If you're going to bunt, use the suicide squeeze. Safety squeeze can backfire in so many ways. You could lay down a good bunt, and the runner at third, if he's got to wait till that ball is bunted, cannot get that good jump. And then the first baseman, a pitcher could throw him out at the plate. All right, Buford leads at first. Jackson at third. A ball and 2 strikes. The pitch, ground ball, bounce to Cater. They got Jackson in the rundown, and Denny throws to Munson. He says him, and the throw to first base. He's safe at first. Oh, they almost got Belanger. Heads-up play by Cater and Munson, and there, a little inexperience with Grant Jackson at third base. His job was to break as soon as the ball was hit, but what he did was wait until Cater caught the ball, and it was a high bouncing ball. They could not have gotten a double play. But Jackson gave the Yankees a break. He waited, and Danny wisely left the throw to first, went after Jackson, threw to Munson, who tagged Jackson, and then his quick throw to Ellis almost got Belanger, who had rounded the bag. So the fielder's choice, 5-2. Buford moved over to third. Belanger is safe at first, and now Frank Robinson. And again they called time. And Michael wants Klein to remember that play we were telling you about before, where the runner at first will break, and at the same time the runner at third will break for home. And if the pitcher becomes confused, the run will score, or he might commit a balk. Frank Robinson, who grounded out to second but got credit for a run batted in, scoring Buford from third. 2 men are out. Don't forget Latin American night at Yankee Stadium, Tuesday, September 7th. The Red Sox will be in town. The pitch to Robinson, a bouncer. Nice play by Steve Klein. One hand throws him out. Good fielding play by Klein. It's out of that big threat. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left. At the end of 2.5. It's Baltimore 1 and the Yankees 1. You know, one of the nice things about owning a car is that you can travel whenever you get the urge, to the beach, the mountains, or just to the store for the daily necessities. Wherever you drive, you'll be burning gasoline, and you may be burning more than you should. One reason is that your carburetor may not be clean enough. There may be deposits that can cause your car to waste gas and cost you mileage. If this seems to be happening to you, if you're not satisfied with the performance you're getting, you should know about Arco Supreme gasoline. Arco Supreme helps keep deposits from clogging the air passages of your engine. Deposits that can cause your car to waste gasoline and cause you to lose mileage. So, if you think you're not getting the mileage you should, try a tank full of Arco Supreme. You'll find Arco Supreme gasoline at any Arco station. You may not get that much more mileage on it, but sometimes a little more is enough. All right, Horace Clark leads off for the Yankees. Horace bounced the third first time up. Jackson's curve is looped in the shallow left center. Back is Belanger. Back and makes a beautiful over-the-shoulder catch with Buford and Rettenman almost colliding in back of him. Fine play by Mark Belanger on a toughie. He had his back to the infield and caught it over the shoulder. One away. Thurman Munson, who lined a single to left and scored the Yankee run in the first inning. Thurman hitting .263. And again, he makes Grant Jackson wait. Last time Jackson became impatient, threw in a hurry, threw Munson a good fastball, and Thurman creamed it. Left field for a base hit. Now they're ready to pitch to Munson. He hit him, and doggone. And I tell you, Munson a little upset, and I don't blame him. Jackson very much upset with Munson making him wait. And you can never accuse a pitcher of deliberately throwing at a hitter. But Munson was hit, or he had no chance to get out of the way of that pitch. Bobby Mercer, who ripped the double to right field his first time up. We've been telling you over the course of this year that a lot of pitchers become upset the way Munson makes them wait at the plate. And Jackson showed his displeasure both times Munson was up there, especially after Thurman wrapped him for a single the first time up. All right, Munson leads away. Pitch to Bobby on the outside corner, strike one call. Dave McNally up visiting in the radio and TV booth, talking with Chuck Thompson over there. Dave figures he's going to pitch next Friday. There's a curve low, and it's 1-1. McNally was scheduled to pitch today, just getting off the disabled list. But he said his arm didn't feel just right, and nobody knows better than the pitcher himself how his arm feels. No doctor or trainer can tell you. Line to right, but curving foul back into the seat. Early in the year, left-hand pitchers were making Bobby Mercer really look bad. But he has seen so many of them now, he swings just as well as the left-handers as he does with the right-hand. A ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Munson at first. The score tied 1-1. We're in the bottom of the third. Jackson set. Pitch on the outside corner, strike 3 call. And that had to be a perfect pitch. Second strikeout for Jackson. Mercer called out, and the batter will be Roy White, who hit a sacrifice fly to left his first time up. His 14th sacrifice fly of the year. 2 away from tying the American League record. All right, Jackson ready. Fly ball straight away center field. Redmond should have no trouble. Is under it and makes the catch. For the Yankees, no runs, no hits, no errors, a man left. And at the end of 3 full innings, it's Baltimore 1 and the Yankees 1. On the scoreboard, Tigers 2, Red Sox nothing, end of an inning and a half, and the Tigers are really giving the Red Sox a rough time. Cleveland nothing, Washington nothing, into 4 and a half. Milwaukee failed to score on the top of the first at Kansas City. Minnesota at California. Chicago at Oakland, doubleheader later on. And Vida Blue, by the way, in case you missed it, pitched a 1-0 shutout for his 20th win of the year and his 7th shutout of the year. Atlanta leads the Mets 1-0 into 1. Phillies lead Pittsburgh 3-0 into 6.5, and they're giving the Pirates a rough time in the first of 2. Giants 1, Cubs nothing into 3.5. But Billy Williams has homered in the 4th with 1 on, his 19th of the year. So the Cubs are leading 2-1, playing the 4th inning. And Cincinnati leads Montreal 2-0 at the end of 1. San Diego at Houston later on. And Lee May got his 31st homer of the year for the Reds with a man on. We've got a real book here today. And coming on. We're coming on. Are you coming out? And right here to tell you all about it, Bill White. Right in back of him, Jack Spector.
Yeah.
What's Jack doing? I heard him with Brooks Robinson yesterday.
Well, that's what I want to talk to him about.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I was listening to him going home. All right, Phillips. Well, you had quite a conversation with Brooks Robinson yesterday, Jack Spector.
Yeah, Bill, according to what I hear, I got a lot out of him. They say he doesn't ordinarily talk that much about himself. Yesterday, he opened up pretty good. I loved him.
Yep. Good man.
Oh, yes. Best.
Our win, of course, scores tied 1-1. Big Boog Powell will lead off for Baltimore. Boog flies left field his first time up. Powell having a tough time this year. Boog batting .229. He has 15 home runs, though, and 56 runs batted in. Steve Klein's ready for the big fella. And he deals fastball, bounce in the hole, right at Ellis. Johnny moves over, tosses low to Klein, but Steve picks it up and touches first base, and foul is out.
Did he have a chance to make that play on his own, do you think?
No.
way?
He made the right play. Ball was hit to his right. He had to go over and backhand it.
Powell's wearing that tape on his wrist. I watched him in batting practice. He was hitting shots way out the 433 side.
Mm-hmm.
That's with a bad wrist.
One away. Here's Merv Redeman. Redeman bounced it short first time. Right-handed hitter. Good hitter. Score's tied 1-1. They must play Redeman straight away. He uses all the ballpark. Klein's ready now with the first pitch. Fastball is too high. The Yankees have White in left, Mercer in center, and Svoboda in right. They're all straight away for Redmond. Merv leads this ball club in hitting. He's batting 305. Right now, probably about 303 since he's 0 for 1. Klein's ready with the 1-0 pitch. Fastball hit on the right side to Clark. Hoss has it at second base. Quick throw to first, and they're 2 out. You know, when Steve's on, Jack Spector, he gets a lot of ground balls.
Does he throw the sinker that Stottlemyre does? He gets it in the right spot. What happened in that first inning? I couldn't get you from. I was sitting at a real low level way down in the first row.
Buford tripled the ball.
I know that, but the ball seemed to take a bad hop.
The ball took a bad hop. Svoboda was going to his right, and the ball bounced back past him on the left side. Brooks Robinson takes the called strike. 2 outs, nobody on. We're in the fourth. Score tied 1-1. Brooksy fly to center first time. Klein's ready. The pitch. Line drive right at goal. John with a big jump, grabs it, pulled it in. And you can hear the crowd there. They appreciate that.
It looked like a high jump style.
Yeah.
He timed it.
So that's it. For Baltimore in the fourth, 3 men up and 3 men down. And at the end of 3.5, the Yankees won and the Baltimore Orioles won.
Take in a doubleheader on a hot summer day, and you'll know how the bleachers got their name. Before you know it, you've got yourself a scorching thirst. A thirst for a couple of beers. So today, there's only one beer that'll do.
Shaker, 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 shaker is love. What beer to have when you're having more than one? Shaker pleasure doesn't fade when your thirst is done. The most rewarding flavor in this man's world for people who are having fun. Shaker is love. One beer to have when you're having more than one.
Well, you know, Jack Spector, I always got you going home. I lose you on that exit 6 off of the New Jersey Turnpike, but I always got your show going out there, and I tell you, a lot of fans, Ron, you're certainly interested in the Yankees.
Yeah, I got a suggestion. Why don't you move into New York and catch the whole show?
All right, we're the last of the fourth. Danny Cater's in. Danny bounced the second first time. Score's tied 1-1. Jackson misses outside with the fastball. Just like most baseball players. I bought a new home in St. Louis and got traded to Philly the next year. The next pitch misses outside again. 2 balls and no strikes. So then I built a home in Philly and I got traded back to St. Louis. So I'm going to be a little more careful, Jack.
Hang on to this one.
Now the 2-0 pitch to Cater. Fastball, cut on, fly to left field. Buford's over near the line. That ball's way up there. Now he's right next to the wall and then pulls it in. Cater hits that ball a long way, just as high as far. And Don Buford, the left fielder, right next to the wall out there, right at the bend, pulled it in for the first out. With 1 out, that'll bring in Johnny Ellis. Ellis lined to the shortstop his first trip. Jackson misses outside with the fastball. Score's tied 1-1. We're in the last of the fourth. Both teams have 3 hits. Jackson working fast. Cut on, slide to center. Redmond's out there. He was deep anyway. Now he flips the glasses, waits, and he's grabbed it. 2 out.
Yes, Sally strikes again.
Guys, get the ball way up there.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here's Swoboda with 2 out. Ronnie singled to right field first time. So he's 1 for 1. They call him Rocky. He's taking your place on the show a couple of times.
Yeah, he did when I was out in Detroit for the All-Star game.
And Swoboda takes high for a ball.
He got rave reviews.
Good. Now Grant Jackson's ready. The left-hander deal. Misses outside, ball 2. Jackson turns his back. He's missed the plate twice. When he's near the plate, he'll pitch fast. When he gets out of the groove, he'll back off, take his time, and get started again. Now he's ready. 2-0 pitch to Swoboda. Change up is high, ball 3, 3-0. Jackson takes a peek at that scoreboard. It tells him there's 3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. But the score's tied 1-1. Both teams got their 1 run in the first inning. 3-0 pitch. High, ball 4. I think Ronnie was going to swing at that.
3-0? Do you think he had a green light?
Yeah, he started to stop. This is the New York Yankee Baseball Network. Let's pause for station identification.
This is Steve Fitz, your contact host. Call us weeknights from 8 to midnight here on the fresh air sound of Radio 81 WGY Schenectady.
All right, Gene Michaels in now. Swings on the first pitch and drives it to right field. Frank Robinson's there, cruises in, waits, and grabs it for the 3rd out. So for the Yankees in the 4th, no runs, no hits, no errors, the man left on base. At the end of 4, the Baltimore Orioles 1 and the New York Yankees 1.
Did you know that you can cut moving costs by 50% or more with a U-Haul rental truck or trailer? Over 6 million families every year move with U-Haul because there's a size and a type that's just right for a 1-room apartment or for the biggest house in town. And if you're moving out of town, you can rent it here and leave it with a dealer where you're going. U-Haul has low rates, insurance, guaranteed tires, and free road service. Cargo insurance included on trucks and trailers. U-Haul has a free moving guide that's loaded with helpful hints for self-movers. So, stop in for your free copy and make your moving job a lot easier. Beat the high cost of moving. Do it yourself with U-Haul. 9 and 20 Auto Sales and Service, junction of 9 and 20, Castleton. Ray's Arco, 10 Broad Street, Glens Falls. And Airways Rent-A-Car, 660 Albany Shaker Road, Airport exit at the Northway. Or consult the yellow pages for the U-Haul dealer nearest you.
Jack Spector, on your busman's holiday, I guess we'll call it, you got to talk to quite a few of the players on the field, huh?
Yeah, I talked to Frank Robinson and Brooks Robinson before the game. I was noticing around the batting cage this easy camaraderie that goes on. The guys were kidding around, and you were just mentioning before we came back on the air that that's the way it goes when you're winning.
Right. Everything's positive.
Yeah, because yesterday when Brooks Robinson was on the show with me, he kept asking, what's happening with Detroit and the Red Sox? Well, what did you get a score? Is there a final? And when he found out they lost, and of course Baltimore had won yesterday, he breathed this big sigh, well, another day gone, picked up the game, like that.
All right, let's go down to the 5th, and the hitter for Baltimore will be Dave Johnson at second base, and he popped to Horace Clark at second his first time. Steve Pine is ready. The first pitch is too high. Outfield straight away for Johnson. He got a big 2-run homer yesterday. Actually, his homer was a winning margin. Fine, likes the sign. Deals the 1-0 pitch. Swung on line, drive, Michael over his head, base hit, left field. White in with it. And Johnson will hold at first base.
Michael didn't miss it by much.
No, it's good lead. One of the taller shortstop. All right, here's Clay Dalrymple. Dalrymple singled to left first time. He bats left-handed, so it was an opposite field hit for him. Clay had a few good years with the Phillies. Now the stretch by Klein. He checks Johnson at first. The pitch is cut on, fouled off. Well, it just shows you how much depth Baltimore has. Dalrymple, starting catcher for 8 years in the National League with the Phillies. He's a third catcher, yeah. He doesn't get to play at all because Ellie Hendricks or Echeverria do all the catching.
And Rettenham doesn't get to play every day.
Yeah.
He'll probably play starting just about any place else in baseball.
Yeah. No balls and a strike on Dalrymple. Johnson leads from first. And the pitch. Swung on, pop foul. That'll be out of play. Just to the left of home plate. Johnny Ellis is holding Johnson at first base. Horace Clark at second. Gene Michael at short, and Danny Cater at third. He'd like to get to the outfield. Roy White in left, Bobby Mercer in center, and Ron Swoboda in right. Scores tied 1-1. We're in the top of the fifth. Baltimore has 4 hits. The Yankees 3. Klein now hides the ball behind him as he looks at Munson. Likes the sign. The 0-2 pitch to Dalrymple. Misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Grant Jackson, the pitcher, on deck. He's got his hat off. Ooh, warm down there. Those plastic helmets are hot anyway. They hold the heat.
Yeah, it's hot down on the field. Awfully hot. Up here it's nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Not in the sunshine.
Now the 1-2 pitch to Dalrymple. Curveball. Gets the outside corner. Call strike 3. So Klein chalks up his first strikeout. And that'll bring in the pitcher, Grant Jackson. Grant's 0 for 1. And Danny Cater, at least on at third, expects him to bunt. Cater's in on the grass. And he moves in another step. Jackson bats left-handed. Klein to the belt. Checks Johnson from first. The pitch is taken outside a ball. Jackson was going to drag that. First time up, Jackson tried a bunt, but he didn't get the ball out far enough. Munson picked it up and forced Dalrymple at second.
I think the idea is keep the bunt away from Munson.
Well, Thurman's quick. He gets out there. Yeah. Now the 1-0 pitch. He's going to swing, and he pops it up, foul. That'll be back on the screen. Ball and a strike. Jackson now looking down at Billy Hunter for the signs. He faked the bunt first time, took it for a ball, cut on that one, fouled it off. So it's 1-1. Johnny Ellis, now at first, really doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know whether this guy will swing at the ball or bunt it. Johnson leads. 1-1 pitch, outside, ball 2. He was going to cut on it. Now, must have missed a sign because the third base coach, Billy Hunter, wants to talk to him. Evidently, Baltimore wants Jackson to bunt. You don't want to bunt.
I think that's what may have happened.
Yeah. Now, there's usually a fine, anywhere from $1 to $5 for missing signs. The players put this in a kitty, and at the end of the season, the more charitable teams give it to some charity. And some teams have a party the last day of the season.
And come up with an equal sum of money for charity anyway, or something like that.
No.
That's what they ought to do.
No, they're the charity, some of the teams. Now Klein's ready. The 2-1 pitch to Jackson, and he squares. The bunt takes outside. Ball 3, 3-1.
That time he was being a good boy.
Yeah? Well, it's hard to miss a verbal sign. You know, guy backs out and says, look, I want you to bunt.
So I thought I told you to bunt.
Now Klein's ready. He's got to get this one over. 3-1 pitch to Jackson. Squares, bunts, misses it. 3-2.
Now what do you do?
Now he's looking at Hunter. Hunter's going to tell him. Since Hunter did nothing at all, I would assume that Jackson will be bunting. If you watch your coach, he gave him no sign. Some teams will have a bunt sign. It's on until you take it off. Some teams, they'll give you a sign on every pitch. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Jackson swinging, pops it up towards shortstop. Michael back on the grass now, with the glasses down, waits for it and grabs it. So there are 2 outs.
Steve Klein's pitching a tough game.
Yes, he is.
Very, very competitive game. In the first inning, I don't know how many pitches he threw to Frank Robinson. Had to be 8, 9, possibly 10 pitches.
Mm-hmm. Of course, Robbie finally bounced to second to score Buford from third base. That's how Baltimore got their one run. The Yankees also have one. They picked up one in the last of the first. Scores tied 1-1. We're in the fifth. And the hitter's Don Buford. This little fellow's 2 for 2. He bats left-handed against Klein. Of course, he's a switch hitter. Johnson leads for first. Not a big lead there. The pitch. Outside a ball. Mark Belanger kneeling in the on-deck circle. 2 outs. David Johnson at first base. Scores tied 1-1. First half of the fifth inning here at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees and the Orioles. 1-0 pitch to Buford. Cut on, driven toward right field. The ball is back there at the track. Oh, he has room now. Waits on it and grabs it right in front of the auxiliary scoreboard. So for Baltimore in the first half of the fifth, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, man left on base. At the end of 4.5 now, the Baltimore Orioles have one, and the New York Yankees also have one.
Here's good news for folks who use rental trucks or trailers to move their household furnishings or for miscellaneous hauling jobs. U-Haul dealers now honor Bank AmeriCard and Master Charge cards for local and one-way rentals. No cash deposit is required, and you can include furniture pads, tow bars, and other moving aids too. Cargo insurance included on trucks and trailers. And if you're planning a move soon, stop in at U-Haul for a free copy of the U-Haul Moving Guide. It shows how to plan your move, how to pack, and how you can save money. Remember, with U-Haul, you can move now and pay later. Just use your Bank AmeriCard or Master Charge card at your nearest U-Haul dealers.
Bill's Esso Station, Route 22 and 295 in Canaan. Al Anderson Service Station, Main Street, Route 296, Hensonville. Ladd Service Station, Columbia and Broadway, Rensselaer. Or consult the Yellow Pages for the U-Haul dealer nearest you.
As we go into the fifth, the last half of the fifth, with the score tied, the Yankees won and the Orioles won. Steve Klein will lead off. Steve struck out first time. Grant Jackson, the left-hander, is ready now. And he deals. Bounce toward shortstop. Belanger moves toward third, picks it up, long throw the first in the dirt, but Powell scoops it out. And they get Klein by a step. 1 away. The ball was hit to the right of Belanger. Usually he gets a better throw than that. He threw short, and Powell, a big first baseman, short-hopped it and came up with it. So there's 1 out, and that'll bring in Horace Clark. Clark's 0 for 2. He's bounced to third and popped to short. Off batting right-handed. Jackson's ready now. And he deals. Gets the outside corner, called strike. Pitch is fouled off. No balls and 2 strikes now on Clark. Sherman Munson, the on-deck circle. Munson was hit by a pitch last time up. 0-2 pitch. Curveball hit out in the center field. Redmond's off quickly. He dives for it and can't get it. Ball gets behind him, but he's not too far. He picks it up and gets it into second base. That umpire, the second base umpire, Jim Odom, really hustling and doing his job. He was all the way out there in shallow center field.
Did he take it on the short skip or smother the ball? Did he smother it or take it on the short skip?
Took it on a short out. So now Clark's at first with his first hit of the ball game, and the Yankees fourth. And the hitter is Sir Munson. Munson 1 for 1. He singled and scored the Yankees run in the first inning. Was hit by a pitch in the third. And Jackson stretches. First pitch is a called strike. Gets the inside corner. Hudson backs out, takes a peek at Hauser. They play third straight away. Oriole infield. Looking for two. Foul. Old Clark at first base. Jackson stretches. The 0-1 pitch to Munson. Breaking ball. Line foul down the third base line.
I noticed something, Bill. Right after every pitch, Brooks Robinson will take the glove off his glove hand. He will remove it. Do most infielders do that?
A lot of times.
He does it after every pitch.
Yeah, a lot of times he do it. Why, I don't know. A lot of the infielders do many things. This infield doesn't. They all looking at foul. A lot of infielders now use the golf glove inside their other glove.
Right. And he does?
No, Brooks does not do that. None of the Oriole infielders have the golf glove on. Some of them hit with it, but they don't use it under the glove. Brooks has been having that glove on at hand about 15, 16 years, you know. He gets tired of it a little bit. He can handle it, though. Now the 0-2 pitch to Munson. Down low and in the dirt, Dalrymple with a fine stop.
He also told me yesterday, Bill, that he will get the sign from Belanger on the slow curve. Belanger will give him a sign to pick it up from the catcher. Do most shortstops do that?
The shortstop and the second baseman like to know what's being thrown. And if the third baseman wants to know, of course, on slow pitches, he'll move toward the line a little more. Now the 1-2 pitch to Munson. Inside, almost hit him again. Now it's 2-2. So on pitches, on breaking balls and on changeups, those balls are more apt to be pulled. So your third baseman and sometimes your first baseman, depending on who's up, they like to know that so they can cheat a little bit one way or the other.
Toward the line.
Yes. Right. Now the 2-2 pitch to Munson. Tripping toward right field. Frank Robinson's back. He's on the track and grabs the one-handed. Clark's going to try for second, and he's going to make it. He's going to make it standing up. Heads-up play by Horace Clark. Munson flies deep to right field to Frank Robinson. Robinson off balance just a bit, grabbed the ball one-handed. And the Orioles now try the appeal play at first base, but the first base umpire, Larry McCoy, says no. Now Weaver comes out. He thinks that Clark left too soon.
Is that just about automatic that most teams appeal that almost every time out?
No. In a case like this, I'm sure Weaver says my right fielder has a good arm. There's no way that guy can go back there and wait and get the second base.
Yeah, when he was taking the ball going back, he was off balance, Robinson.
Doesn't make any difference. You just still feel that there's no way the guy can go for first and second on a strong line right field. Although Robinson has had some trouble with the arm, but you don't take liberties with it. He can still throw well. All right, so Weaver has lost his 1,000th argument with the umpire. You know one thing about that fellow. Although they have a comfortable lead, he's still fighting.
He's fighting.
Weaver. He spent so many years in the minor leagues when he was a ball player. Like Yankee. You know, he had to do a lot of things. Never made it to the big league.
Had a back order.
Right. That's right. All right, with 2 outs now, here's Bobby Mercer. Mercer has got a double and a strikeout. Clark's at second base. Scores tied 1-1 with the last of the fifth. Grant Jackson's ready. Swung on and missed. Yes, Mercer's having some kind of a year. Bobby is in all the categories. Batting, home runs, runs batted in. He has, in batting, he's second. He's batting .338, probably around .340 now, since he's 1 for 2. Tony Oliva, of course, leads the American League in batting. Now the 0-1 pitch to him. Down low. 1-1. Bobby has 21 home runs. He's 4th in the league in that. Mercer has 71 runs batted in, tied with Sal Bando. He's second in the league with runs scored, so he's having a good year. 1-1 pitch to him. Gets the outside corner, called strike 2.
The thing that impresses me about Bobby has been his fantastic consistency.
All year long?
Yes. From day number 1.
Right.
From spring training on, he just has not let up at all. A couple of days, maybe he's gone without a hit, and that's about it. But he's in every game.
Jackson has him in the hole now, 1-2 with 2 outs. Clark at second, scores tied, 1-1. And the pitch. Breaking ball, gets the outside corner. Mercer does not believe it. He has a few words with Hornacek. Bobby's still there, but he's been called out. And for Jackson, that's his third strikeout. For the Yankees in the fifth, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, the man left on base. At the end of 5-4, the New York Yankees won, the Baltimore Orioles won.
You know, you ladies in the audience probably spend a lot of time thinking of easier and better ways to keep things clean. Things like your floors, your laundry, your kids. You'll try almost any product that will really get your household cleaner and help keep it that way. It makes life easier and the whole house seems to run better when everything is as clean as you can get it. But how about your car's engine? You may not realize it, but the cleaner an engine is, the better it runs too. Well, the people at Atlantic Richfield have a gasoline that can help. It's called Arco Supreme gasoline. It helps keep deposits from clogging up your engine's air passages. Deposits that can cause your car to waste gasoline and cause you to lose mileage. You may not get that much more mileage on it, but sometimes a little more is enough. So if your car isn't getting the mileage it should, it may be because your carburetor isn't clean enough. And if that's the case, you should be using Arco Supreme gasoline. It won't make your whites whiter or your brights brighter, but it will make your carburetor cleaner, and that's a lot.
Hey, Jack Spector, we're having a pretty good ball game here this afternoon.
It's moving rather quickly.
Yep.
A lot of action that first inning, and since then been kind of quiet.
Score tied 1-1. Baltimore scored in the first inning. Buford got a bad hop triple past Ron Swoboda in right field. After Belanger bounced to third with Buford holding third, Frank Robinson bounced to second base with in Yankee infield back. Buford scored Baltimore's run. The Yankees picked up their run in the last of the first after Clark bounced to third. Munson singled to left. Mercer doubled down the right field line, and Roy White got his 14th sacrifice fly of the year, and that's the score, 1-1. Mark Belanger will lead off now in the sixth. He tries the bunt, fouls it off.
I wonder if Baltimore expected this much trouble coming in. I wonder about that.
You always expect trouble.
Well, but they were going, so nice and smoothly, and the Yankees, they had begun to go just before the All-Star game. They really seemed to have righted themselves. They could only do it the first half of the season. It'd be great.
You expect to win, but you expect to have to play hard to win. And, of course, Baltimore knows Baltimore-Yankee series are always tough series. Breaking ball from Klein misses low. Belanger's 0 for 2. He's bounced to short, and he's hit into a force out. Mark having a good year. He bats right in. It takes quite a bit of space to choke up on the bat. That's a big bat. Just sprays the batter a ball around. 1-1 pitch to him now. Bounce toward third. Cater waits on the big hop. Flips over the first base, and there's 1 out. And here's Frank Robinson. Robbie's 0 for 2. Does have an R run batted in on a ground ball to Clark with the Yankee infield back. Buford scored from third. He bounced back to Klein in the third inning. First pitch to him, driven left field on a wave, it'll be foul in the upper deck, off the facing up there. Whew! He ripped it. Yeah. Steve got him out in the third inning with a couple of men on base. He got Robinson to bounce back to him for the third out of that inning as Baltimore was threatening. Now Klein's ready. The 0-1 pitch to Robinson. Driven foul, straight down. Hornacek takes a peek at that ball. It's all right. Umpires don't throw balls out as much as they used to.
How about the bigger ones?
Huh?
How about the bigger ones they've had trouble with?
Well, they say 1% had over on from Spalding, and he said 1% or less than 1% of all balls. There's some one that maybe the seams are raised or the ball might be a little bigger.
I was amazed. I watched that interview with
the 0-2 pitches bounced to third. It's going to jack over the first, inside the line, but Ellis grabs it, gets out of Robinson's way, and they're 2 out. I think Johnny Ellis can thank Frank Robinson there for. Of course, Frank isn't too dumb either. Now, he knows Ellis plays about 220. So Robinson's out again from 5 to 3, and they're 2 outs now. And that noise you hear is for Gould foul. They're saying Gould. He's over 2. Fly to left and bounced out from Ellis to Klein. Score tied 1-1. We're in the 6th. Klein misses outside with a fastball. He will probably try to keep the ball here away from this big fella. He wants him to hit to the big part of the diamond. Foul back left-handed. Last year's most valuable player in the American League. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball on the ground toward Clark. Hoff bobbles it, comes up, throws, and gets him at first base. Farrell did not break quickly from the plate. Booth broke his back, was a little disappointed, and when Clark bobbled the ball, Booth couldn't get started again. So for Baltimore in the 6th, 3 men up and 3 men down. At the end of 5 1/2, the New York Yankees won, the Baltimore Orioles won.
When a man goes a few rounds with a punching bag, he's sure to come up with a powerful thirst. A more than one beer thirst. When this workout's over, he'll be good for a couple of beers at least. That's why he'll be good for Schaefer. Schaefer Pleasure stays first beer smooth, first beer bright, first frosty glass to last. You see, we started practicing on more than one beer thirsts back before most brewers even started brewing. And practice makes perfect.
Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one.
Let's see, this Sunday is Blue Day here at Yankee Stadium. I think there are 31 people in the Manhattan telephone book with the last names of Blue. And they'll all be admitted free Sunday. They go to the Blue booth, show some identification, and they'll be in to see if I had a blue pitch. All right, here's Roy White now. The Yankees have the 6th, and he drives the first pitch over into short right center field for a base hit. I thought David Johnson might get up with that ball. That ball was just a little looper in the short right center. David Johnson couldn't get up with it. It was hit in front of Redmond, so Roy White now 1 for 2. Roy drove in the only Yankee run in the first inning with a sacrifice fly to left field. Then he flied to center. Now he's perched at first base with a little bloop single in the short right center. That'll bring in Cater. Danny 0 for 2. Bounced to second base and flied to left. Jackson now stretches. Checks White. Pitch to Cater. Swung on, driven foul on the right field line. That'll be in the seat. Score tied 1-1. We're in the last of the 6th. The Yankees now have 5 hits. Baltimore has 4. Johnny Ellis on deck. White takes a short lead there first. He's held there by Powell. Pitch to Cater. Strike 2 call. That's got the inside corner. Danny doesn't like that call.
He doesn't usually show that much emotion, does he? Except when he gets a hit.
Well, Danny thinks that plate's a little wider for him than for some of the other players, that's all. Jackson ahead now, no balls and 2 strikes. He stretches. He checks White at first. Goes there. Roy's back easily. Jackson doesn't have too good a move at first for a left-hander. He hasn't yet picked up that false move. Now he checks White again. He goes to first base again. White's back. No balls and 2 strikes as Cater gets back in. No outs in the last half of 6th. 0-2 pitch. This is outside. Cater's had 14 runs batted in over his last 7 games in which he started. He had a total of 76 in 1970. That was his career high. So far this year, Danny has 45. The 1-2 pitch to him. Curveball hit foul in the upper deck down the right side. Still 1-2. And he backs out, shakes his head. That was a hanging curve. Danny trying to go to the right side. There's always a hole there when the first baseman has to hold the runner there. And a lot of the better hitters try to shoot through there.
He hits well to right field, too. He usually makes good contact.
Yep. Now Jackson's ready. Peter waits. 1-2 pitch to him. The pitch out. Roy White was not moving. Well, it counts now 2-2. Now let's see what the Yankees do. Many times they'll hit and run right after pitch out. White leads from first. He does not have a big lead. Maybe a couple steps there. He stays there. 2-2 pitch. White does not move. Outside, ball 3-2. Now Jackson probably wishes he hadn't wasted that 1-2 pitch. The full count now on Cater. Roy White's at first base. Scores tied 1-1. We're in the last of the sixth. Cater's only struck out 23 times, so White might be running. And he is running. Pitch. Bounce up the middle. The pitcher has it over the second, and they force Clark at second base. The ball was juggled just a bit.
He never did that, really.
Now, the second base umpire, Larry McCoy, Jim Odom is going over to first base to ask Larry McCoy about that play. Ralph Hoff's out there.
Did he call him safe or out?
No, he called him out, but the Yankees felt that Belanger bobbled the ball there. The second base umpire, Jim Odom, immediately went over to first base and asked the first base umpire, Larry McCoy, whether or not Belanger bobbled the ball. Now Ralph Hoff goes over to third base, and he's talking to Marty Springstead. So's Dick Hauser over there. Ellie Howard, the first base coach, is in there with Jim Heinachek.
Where's Johnny Ellis?
Johnny Ellis.
I want to keep him out of the rough.
That's good. Don't let him get started.
No.
Bodies are really on. Ralph Hawkins really mad. Look at there. He's mad. Be careful, Ralph. And now Ellie Howard's in there with his hat off. Little discussion going on out there, right at shortstop. Dick Hauser, Ralph Hoff, and Ellie Howard are giving Jim Odom a lecture. And Odom's going to listen. And when it's all over, now Ralph Hoff kicks him in dirt. Now they're going to go over third base and get on Springstead. Ellie Howard keeps Odom company. Houck and Hauser over with Springstead. Now they're all going to be joined by a fan. Whoop. And the fan is... Woo! Hey, he's going to pull back. Hey, the Jets have used him.
They got him. Huh? They got him. They got him.
This is the New York Yankee Baseball Network. With all that's going on, let's pause for station identification.
This is Shannon in the Morning, coming your way Monday through Saturday, 5:30 to 10, here on the fresh air sound of Radio 81, WGY Schenectady.
To reconstruct all of this, with the argument still going on down there around second base, Roy White led off this inning with a bloop single to short right center field. On a 3-2 pitch, Cater bounced the ball with White running back to Jackson, the pitcher. Jackson wheeled and threw to Belanger, covering second. Belanger, the shortstop. Belanger bobbled the ball just a bit. The second base umpire, Jim Odom, said he had control of the ball when he was on the back, so he called Roy White out. Now, this brought just about all the Yankee coaches out. And let me see. We're going to look over here at the playback, Jack Spector. They've got it over here on the other side. And let's see. Just looked like he bobbled the ball just a bit.
And, of course, he has to have control of that ball, complete control, but the second base umpire, Jim Odom, is closer than any of us.
The ball looked like it ran up to the webbing of the glove. It didn't look like he had complete control of it. Well, I don't know. He may have had it when he was on second base.
Well, Odom's closer than he's closer than we are. Anyway, Roy White's been called out, so there's one out, and a little order has been restored. Danny Caters at first base, and the hitter will be Johnny Ellis. Score is tied 1-1 when the last was 6. Cater at first. Ellis is 0 for 2. He's lined to short and fly to center. Grant Jackson sets it. Checks Cater. Pitch to Ellis. Fastball misses outside.
Bill, have you noticed what happens when I show up?
1-0 pitch to Ellis. Swung on, driven up the middle. Jackson has it, throws to second for one, back to first, double play. Jackson once again, now they turn that. Ball was bounced back to Grant Jackson. He flips to the second baseman Johnson, whose return throw to foul doubled up Ellis. And for the Yankees in the 6th, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, nobody left on base. At the end of 6, the Yankees have 1 run on 5 hits. The Baltimore Orioles have 1 run on 4 hits. Looking at the scoreboard, Detroit leads Boston 5-1 at the end of 3.5 innings. That's Slolich against Keon. Lee came on in the 4th for Boston. Cleveland leads Washington 4-1 at the end of 6.5 innings. Milwaukee and Kansas City are tied up 1-1 at the end of 2.5. Tommy Harper got his 10th home run in the 3rd for Milwaukee. Dale Hopkins is 5th in the 2nd for Kansas City. Minnesota, California, no score yet. Oakland and Chicago, they'll play 2 out on the coast. Atlanta leads New York, the Mets, 5-0 at the end of 3. That's Williams against Niekro. Frisella's in there now, Danny Frisella. Philadelphia, 3. Pittsburgh, 0 at the end of 8.5 innings. They'll play 2 there. Now the Pirates are in trouble. They've lost 7 of 9 so far. Their lead's shrinking over there. Chicago 2, San Francisco 2 in the first game of a doubleheader. And San Francisco, let's see, in Chicago, that's the second game. That hasn't started, of course. L.A. and St. Louis, 0-0 at the end of 2. Big scoreboard. San Diego 1, Houston 0 at the end of 1. Cincinnati 2, Montreal 0 at the end of 2.5. Jack Spector, thanks for being with me.
Well, I enjoyed it.
Real good, Jackson. And Frank Lester will take over now. I got to go TV. Franklin.
Okay, Bill, thank you very much. Well, this crowd has really worked up now over this ball game. Merv Redeman, the batter, leading off the top half of the 7th inning for the Baltimore Orioles. Steve Klein on the mound for the Yankees turns a pitch loose and is taken for a strike. One to 1 ball game. Okay, Jack. Take care, Jack Spector. See you soon. Going down for sports call? Strike 2 to Redeman. No balls and 2 strikes. Redeman, right-hand hitter. Klein ready to work again. Rocks and deals, and he fouls this one at the feet of plate umpire Jim Honachik. Redeman is grounded to short and grounded out to second. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Yankees have 5 hits. The Orioles have 4. 1-1 ball game, and Redeman hits a ground ball toward Michael. Gene to his left has it. The throw to first base, he's out. 1 down. And now Klein's sinker seems to be working. Was not working real well the early innings. He's now retired the last 4 men in a row on ground balls. And he has retired 7 in a row overall. The batter will be Brooks Robinson, the Baltimore third baseman. Brooks is 0 for 2. Robbed of a base hit on a nice catch by John Ellis, who leaped high in the air for it down at first base. He looks at a strike over the outside corner, 0-1. The windup, the next pitch. The sinker has the plate but too low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Orioles got their 1 run in the first inning, and so did the Yankees. Both runs scoring in the first, and goose eggs ever since. The windup by Klein, his pitch to Brooks Robinson, swung on and missed. Strike 2. The Orioles had a threat in the third, but could not score. A man from third base with only 1 out. 1-2 pitch. Hit on the ground right side. Clark to the glove side is up with it. The throw to first base. Robinson is out. 2 down. Since the third inning, the Orioles have had only 1 base runner. That was Dave Johnson, who singled to open up the 5th. Klein has retired 13 of the last 14 men he has faced. Dave Johnson popped up and singled. Right-hand batter takes a curve low, ball 1. The windup, 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball gets the inside corner for a strike. It's 1-1 to Dave Johnson. Klein looks to Munson, ready. Right-hander kicks and deals. A ball low and outside, 2-1. The entire playing field still in bright sunshine, with the exception of the first base bag. One of the shadow of one of the light towers covers first base, but that's the only shadow on the playing field yet. It'll soon be creeping out over the plate, though. Klein leans for the sign, right-hander wide. Here's his pitch. Cut on and hit in the air to shallow left center. Mercer started back, now coming in. White coming in. Could be trouble, and White's got it. Falls down and holds it. Gene Michael did not go out on that one. I don't think Michael realized the ball was as shallow as it was. White came running in. Mercer broke back. Then Bobby looked for Roy White, and White realized he was the only one who could get it. Turned on all the speed he had and just barely made the catch. Fell down, but held it. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across at the end of 7 innings to score. New York won and Baltimore won at the end of 6.5.
If you're going to move, why not do it yourself with U-Haul, as more than 6 million families do every year? Save as much as 50% or more of the usual cost and move at your convenience, not someone else's. U-Haul trucks and trailers are available in a full range of sizes. There's one that's just right for your move. You can rent equipment from your nearest U-Haul dealer and leave it with a dealer in your new neighborhood, even if you're going clear across the country. U-Haul has low one-way rental rates, insurance, guaranteed tires, and free road service. And cargo insurance is included on trucks and trailers. U-Haul has a moving guide that helps plan your move and makes the job a lot easier. Stop in at your nearest U-Haul dealers.
Murray's Service Station, 170 Church Street, Route 67 North, Amsterdam. Bellevue Motors Incorporated, 1902 Broadway, Schenectady. Porter's Esso, Altamont Boulevard in Helderberg, Altamont. Or consult the yellow pages for the U-Haul dealer nearest you.
Miss Blue, you're in free next Sunday if your name is BLUE. Ron Swoboda leads off the bottom half of the 7th inning. Swoboda is 1 for 1, takes a strike. He is singled and walked. One to one ball game. Gene Michael on deck, and then Steve Klein. Jackson, the left-hander, delivers a ball down low to even it up 1-1. Jackson turns it loose again. A fastball is low, ball 2. These Orioles have some bench. You know what? Dave McNally comes up with a sore arm, and his spot in the starting rotation taken by Jackson and Dave Leonard alternately. 2-1 pitch. Cut on and line out into left field. Buford is after it, and he's got it. Buford makes the catch on the run down in the left field corner. So what have Jackson and Leonard done in picking up McNally's starting spot? They have won 4 and lost 1. Here's Gene Michael. Steve Klein comes out on deck. Michael has flied to center and flied to right. Bottom half of the 7th, 1-1 ball game. Pitch is high, ball 1. It's all over at Pittsburgh. The Phillies have defeated the Pirates 3-2. Braves lead the Mets 5-0 in the 5th inning. Next pitch coming. Strike is called, and the count evens up 1-1. Jackson wheels and deals, and Michael fouls it back on the net. A ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch is high, ball 2. See a young fellow with a 17 on his Yankee uniform down here in the stands. That's one of Gene's kids. He's not paying any attention to Dad up there at the plate. He's walking around. Just left his seat, came back up through the stand. 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Maybe he knew something. That is the 4th strikeout for Jackson. And Steve Klein will get a hand. Jackson has struck out 4, walked only 1, and hit a batter. He hit Thurman Munson back in the 3rd inning. Klein swings and misses, strike 1. Steve has been called out on strikes and grounded out to short. One strike pitch. Foul back. Yankee manager Ralph Houck has a birthday coming up tomorrow. We won't be on the air, so we'll take this opportunity to wish him a happy birthday a day early. Klein swings and misses for strike 3, and the side is retired. 5 strikeouts now for Grant Jackson. The Yankees are 3 up, 3 down, nothing across. And at the end of 7 full innings, the score, New York 1 and Baltimore 1.
Did you know that you can cut moving costs by 50% or more with a U-Haul rental truck or trailer? Over 6 million families every year move with U-Haul because there's a size and a type that's just right for a one-room apartment or for the biggest house in town. And if you're moving out of town, you can rent it here and leave it with a dealer where you're going. U-Haul has low rates, insurance, guaranteed tires, and free road service. Cargo insurance included on trucks and trailers. U-Haul has a free moving guide that's loaded with helpful hints for self-movers. So, stop in for your free copy and make your moving job a lot easier. Beat the high cost of moving. Do it yourself with U-Haul. Seipel's Golf, 640 Paulding Avenue, Troy. O'Brien's Atlantic, 112 Broad Street, Waterford. McCabe Shell Service, 670 Hoosick Road, Troy. Or consult the yellow pages for the U-Haul dealer nearest you. Here we go now to the 7th inning of this ball game at Yankee Stadium. 1-1 game.
Steve Klein will work to the catcher, Clay Dalrymple, a left-hand batter. Then Grant Jackson will be due. And then the top of the order, Don Buford. Dalrymple has singled and been called out on strikes. That is the only strikeout in the ballgame for Klein. His pitch swung on and bounced foul back behind the plate. And Bill Kane comes up with a final score from Pittsburgh. The Phillies have defeated the Pirates 3-2. Woody Prime in the winner and Steve Blass the loser. The Pirates have now lost 8 of their last 10 ball games. But even so, they're still in first place. At the moment by 5.5 games, depending on what St. Louis does. Dalrymple swings and misses, strike 2. St. Louis and Los Angeles are scoreless at the end of 3 innings. Cardinals won a weird one last night. Klein winds and deals. Low for a ball. But Matty Alou, Felipe's brother, bunted for a base hit. And when nobody was paying any attention to him, the Pirates talking it over in the infield, I'm told, or rather the Dodgers talking it over on the infield. He stole second. Pete Mickelson threw the ball away, and he went to third, and when the ball was juggled by the second baseman, he came home. Swing and a miss by Dalrymple, strike 3. Munson drops it and tags him out. So the second time Dalrymple has struck out, and the second strikeout for Steve Klein. Grant Jackson comes on. Tried to sacrifice back in the third and bounced into a fourth. From Munson to Michael. He popped up to the shortstop, Michael, in the fifth. Here's the first pitch to him. Inside, ball 1. Again, the windup, the 1-0 pitch outside, and Klein falls behind 2-0 on Jackson. Base is empty, 1 away. 2-0 pitch. Strike this time, right across with a fastball, 2-1. Klein has retired the last 10 men in a row. Delivers 2-1, and it is bounced toward Clark. Hoss backs off to the grass for it, goes on to first. That's all for Jackson. 2 down. 11 in a row, and I believe that Klein won in one ball game this year, retired 16 men in a row. Back and see if I can. Is that right, Bill Kane? Okay. Surprising Klein has as much control as he does today, not having pitched any more than he has. Pitched a week ago yesterday. Actually, he's only pitched once before today in, 18 days, I think. Only his second start since July 21st, and I believe that'll figure out to about 18 days. He winds, and his pitch now to Buford. Buford is 2 for 3. Strike 1 call. April 23rd against Minnesota, he retired 16 in a row, did Steve Klein. He won the game 7-3. Buford bunts foul over toward the Baltimore dugout, bounces over the dugout roof, and is grabbed by a young fan. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, the base is empty. 1-1 ball game. Klein winds. 2-strike pitch to Buford. Hit on the ground to first base, foul as Ellis gets to it. Crowd sort of sitting back now, saving a little energy for later on. Sort of a hushed silence. They watch Klein work on Don Buford. Switch hitter batting left. Lays that bat right down flat on his shoulder. Now the pitch to him. Swung on and lined out into left field. Coming forward, White. Cannot get to it. It's in for the base hit. It's on an 0-2 count. Buford gets a base hit. He pulled one sharply foul outside of first and then lined a single to left. That is his third hit in the ball game. Klein had retired 11 in a row and was ahead of Buford. No balls, 2 strikes. Throws to first, no play. Mark Belanger, the shortstop, 0 for 3. Right-hand batter, they call for a pitch out. Buford was not going. Ball 1. Belanger is grounded to short once and to third base twice. Klein deals. Ball 2. Outside. Mark Belanger, tall and slender, up in Massachusetts, 6'2". Spreads out in the batter's box. Stretched by Klein. And now his pitch. Get right back up the middle, and it is gloved by Michael. Flips to Clark. Out at second base. What a play. Miss Molly should have been here for that one. Michael, going to his left, took what looked like a sure base hit away from Mark Belanger. His momentum carried him way behind the bag at second, but he got the ball back to Clark in time for the force on Buford, and out number 3. For the Orioles, no runs, a base hit, no errors, and a man left. At the end of 7.5, the score. New York 1 and Baltimore 1.
Arco Supreme, great gasoline. You may only get a little more mileage on it, but sometimes a little more is enough. Arco Supreme, great gasoline. Arco Supreme, great gasoline. Busy man on the go, busy man high and low, busy man on the job, busy man to show, busy man on the way, busy man running low. Arco Supreme, great gasoline. You may only get a little more mileage on it, but sometimes a little more is enough. Arco Supreme, great gasoline. Arco Supreme.
Bottom half of the 8th inning, Horace Clark the batter. Clark has gone 1 for 3 in this game. Grounded out to third, popped to short, and singled to center field. Swings on the first pitch, lifts a fly ball to left. Don Buford is right there and puts it away. So Horace Clark, first ball hitting, flies out to Buford in left field. 1 down. Bring up Thurman Munson. Munson is singled and hit by a pitch and flied to right. Not stepped in yet. Yankees scored led their run in the first inning on a single by Munson, a double by Mercer, and Roy White's sacrifice fly. Grant Jackson ready to work the left-hander wide. His pitch to Munson swung on and fouled off. Ready, Jackson ready. Left arm comes around, fastball is inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wednesday, 2 o'clock against California will be Senior Citizens Day here at Yankee Stadium. Senior citizens admitted for the service charge of 50 cents. 1-1 pitch. Change-up, and he's high with it. That's the first time Jackson has thrown that particular pitch. 2-1. Nobody on. 2-1 pitch. Popped up in a shallow right. Coming on for it is Frank Robinson. He's there, makes the catch. In shallow right field, Munson retired. There are 2 down. And now Bobby Mercer. 1 for 3, doubled his first time up. Since then, Mercer has been called out twice on strike. When Grant Jackson pitched in relief out here night before last, Bobby Mercer hit one of his longest home runs off of him. Dalrymple has called time going out to the mound. Ralph Houk said it was probably the hardest Bobby has ever hit the ball. It was into the upper deck in right field. When Bobby hit to the off the roof of the football broadcast booth out there earlier this year was well hit. Out there where the WMCA sign is. Pitch to him. Swung on. Fly ball out of the right field. Frank Robinson comes in a few steps. He's under it. Makes the catch. And the side is retired. So it's an easy inning for Grant Jackson as both Clark and Mercer go after the first pitch. 3 up, 3 down. Nothing across. At the end of 8, the score. New York 1 and Baltimore 1.
The story of a thirsty piano maker. His name was I.F. Luther, and he was the first man in America who ever bought Schaefer beer. On September 3rd, 1842, he walked into our brewery and took home a 5-gallon keg of Schaefer. That was the beginning of the one beer to have when you're having more than one. And we've been satisfying more than one beer thirsts ever since. Today, Schaefer gives you flavor that never fades. First frosty glass to last. A more than one beer man couldn't ask for anything more.
Top of the 9th inning now. Frank Robinson will lead off for the Baltimore Orioles. Robinson, Powell, and Retterman. Robinson has grounded out 3 times. To second, to the pitcher, and to third. Fine, looking over toward the Yankee dugout. Let's see what the problem is. Oh, we're waiting for a right fielder. That's it. No right fielder. Where is Ron Swoboda? There he comes. Bobby Mercer on center field tying a shoelace. Everybody's in place, and we can play some ball. Frank Robinson. knocked in the Oriole run in the first inning with a ground out to Clark. He takes a strike on the first pitch. Gene Michael plays Frank Robinson well over toward the hole. John Ellis very wide of the line over toward second base. The outfield spreads out. Mercer is quite shallow out there in center. Straight away. 0-1 pitch. Hit on the ground is short. Michael is up with it. Fires over to first base in time to get Frank Robinson. One down. The batter will be Boog Powell. Powell has flied to left, grounded out to first and to second. Pulled the ball twice on the ground, hit it in the air to the opposite field. 1-1 ball game, top of the ninth. First pitch to Powell. Strike. One is called on the inside corner. Powell was backing off the dish. Yankees scored a lot of runs in the first two games of this series, but since then, Powell hits the ball high in the air to center field. Mercer coming in. Way in. He's under it now, and he makes the catch. 2 down, and this is the New York Yankee Baseball Network. We pause for station identification.
This is your Guy High-Agents. Join me for your kind of music, weekdays, 3 to 7, here on the fresh air sound of Radio 81, WGY Schenectady.
Merv Rettenman steps in with 2 men out, nobody on. Rettenman is grounded out 3 times. Swings on the curve and rocks it foul outside of third. Not fouled by much. "17 groundouts, if I count correctly. This could be 18. A bouncing ball to short. Michael has quick throw to first. He's out, and the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across. And at the end of the top half of the ninth inning, the score: the New York Yankees won, and the Baltimore Orioles won.
One of the nice things about owning a car is that you can travel whenever you get the urge. To the beach, the mountains, or just to the store for the daily necessities. Wherever you drive, you'll be burning gasoline, and you may be burning more than you should. One reason is that your carburetor may not be clean enough. There may be deposits that can cause your car to waste gas and cost you mileage. If this seems to be happening to you, in other words, if you're not satisfied with the performance you're getting, then you should know about Arco Supreme gasoline. Arco Supreme helps keep deposits from clogging the air passages of your engine. Deposits that can cause your car to waste gasoline and cause you, of course, to lose mileage. So if you think you're not getting the mileage you should, try a tank full of Arco Supreme. You'll find Arco Supreme gasoline at any Arco station. Now, you may not get that much more mileage on it, but sometimes a little more is enough.
Bottom half of the ninth inning here at Yankee Stadium. The Yankees have White, Cater, and Ellis to try to get something started against the southpaw Grant Jackson. Of the trio, Roy White is the only one with a base hit. He singled to center field his last time up. White has driven in the only run for the Yankees with a sacrifice fly. He is 1 for 2 with an RBI. Well, here we go to the bottom half of the ninth. The Yankees trying to break through on the Orioles. Now the fans are alive. Right up on the edge of the seat. Jackson's first pitch. He bunts it, pushes it down the first base line. It's going to be a dandy. They won't get him. Powell steals the ball and falls down, and Roy White is single to lead it off. Roy White, running hard, beats out a single. Grant Jackson racing over to cover first may have injured himself. Grant Jackson now may be hurt. Jackson is holding his left leg over near first base. And now the Orioles trainer, Ralph Salvon, comes out. Salvon will work on Jackson's leg. I believe he may have a Charlie horse or a pulled muscle. Flexing the knee now just a bit, and he may have pulled something in the knee. I just don't know. But Jackson running over the cover is injured. Earl Weaver is out there with the trainer Salvon. Jackson obviously in some pain, but now I think is going to be able to continue. Salvon has worked the problem out. Let's see if he requests permission to throw a couple of times. So Roy White pushes a bunt down the first base line and beats it out for a base hit. That's his second hit in the ball game, giving him 2 for 3. It is the Yankees' 6th hit, and Jackson's going to take a couple of tosses. The problem was to the left leg. Of course, that's the leg with which he pushes off the rubber. Weaver takes the baseball away now. That's all for Jackson. He cannot continue. Grant Jackson will have to leave the ball game. And, of course, the new pitcher will be given as much time as he feels is necessary to get warmed up. So Jackson running over the cover on the play came up with an injury that is going to force him out of the ball game. Tom Dukes will be coming in. Full excitement over in the stands, looking to see what it is. Some of the kids are building one of those long things with a paper cup. You ever seen them do that here? What they do is ask everybody in the stands to toss their empty soft drink cups or beer cups over, and they start one of these tall stacks of those cups. Tom Dukes will come on. He's a right-hander. And as we said, Dukes will be given whatever time he feels is necessary to get properly warmed up. Coming in an emergency with the pitcher injured. Tom Dukes has won 1 and lost 5. He has 4 saves, and this will be his 22nd appearance, all in relief. He shows an earned run average of 373. Yankees and the Orioles tied up 1-1 here at the stadium. It was Jackson's longest turn of the season, going 8 innings plus 1 batter. Dukes has been out against the Yankees a couple of times, once in this series. He came in and pitched a third of an inning in the Cuellar loss Thursday night. Down in Baltimore, he pitched 2/3 of an inning, so he has 1 inning overall, no runs. He's given up 3 hits, walked 1 and struck out 1. The Orioles have won 1 of the games and lost 1 that he's been in. Dukes came to the Orioles in the Dobson deal from San Diego. You know, that Dobson trade, now that McNally is hurt and not able to pitch, that Dobson trade is probably the biggest trade the Orioles have made since Frank Robinson. I would say without a doubt. But even with McNally hurt, the Orioles' great bench has kept them going and in first place. We mentioned earlier, McNally's turn as a starter has been taken alternately by Dave Leonard and Grant Jackson. They have won 4 out of their 5 starts. So it's just like McNally being in there as far as results are concerned. All right, Dukes is ready to pitch to Cater. Cater bunts. Down the first baseline. Powell's up with this one. Plays it to first base in time. Johnson takes the throw. And on the sacrifice, Roy White moves to second. Jeter called upon to sacrifice and does so perfectly. 3-4 on the sack. White now at second. And instead of John Ellis, it will be Felipe Alou. Felipe Alou will be batting for Ellis to try to get White home with a winning run. Felipe would have to be the Yankees' top pinch hitter, 5 for 11 and 3 RBIs. Overall on the year, he is batting .274. First pitch to him, low and outside, ball one. Alou has 92 hits. 50 runs batted in. He can get number 51 now. The Yankees will have won the ball game. It's tied 1-1. White at second. Tom Dukes off the stretch. Drops the hands, kicks and delivers. Fastball for a strike call. It's 1-1. Grant Jackson down on the clubhouse with a leg injury, running over to cover first base on Roy White's front single. The 1-1 pitch now to Felipe Alou. He takes a strike two call, a good-looking breaking pitch from the right-hander Dukes. Tom Dukes, 6'2" and 185 pounds. From down in Knoxville, Tennessee. Johnson tried to squeeze in behind White. Roy knows he's coming. Now Johnson goes back. 1-2 pitch. Line down into center field, base hit. There may be a play at the plate. Here comes White. Here comes Redmond's throw. And White scores. The ball game is over. The Yankees win it, and Ron Swoboda is like a little kid out there, leaping up and down, pounding Roy White on the back. Ralph Houk goes all the way out on the playing field on the diamond to grab Felipe Alou's hand, and Alou is being mobbed by the Yankees as he comes through with a pinch single here in the bottom half of the ninth inning to drive in Roy White with a winning run, and the Yankees have taken the Orioles 3 out of 4. What a finish. Let's do that ninth inning again. Roy White pushed a bunt down the first baseline and beat it out for a single. Pitcher Grant Jackson, running over to cover first, injured his left leg and had to leave the ball game. Tom Dukes came in, pitched to Danny Cater, who sacrificed, moving White up to second base with a bunt that was fielded by Powell and thrown to Clark covering first. And then Felipe Alou, the Yankees' #1 pinch hitter, batting for John Ellis, lined a game-winning single to center field. Roy White scored, standing up. Merv Redeman's throw to the plate was over the head of Dalrymple and all the way to the backstop. They would not have had a play on Roy White with a perfect throw. He didn't even slow down around third, just raced right on in. The ball hit by Alou, went out over second base, hit in the outfield grass and just died. And Redmond had a long run coming in to get to the ball. Then he threw it over Dalrymple's head, but that was not the play. White was home anyway. So the Yankees win this one 2-1 and take 3 out of 4 from Baltimore. And again, the Yankees go above 500. They have now won 58 and lost 57. We'll get a day off tomorrow to celebrate, and then we'll await the invasion of the California Angels for Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon, and Thursday night. Here are your totals in the ball game. For the New York Yankees, 2 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. For Baltimore, 1 run, 5 hits, and no errors. The winning pitcher is Steve Kline. His record is 9-10. And it is also a complete game for Steve Klein. He has gotten the root in all 9 of his wins. The losing pitcher will be Grant Jackson, whose record is 3-3. And if you say why Jackson, it was against Jackson that White reached base, even though Alou got the game-winning hit off Tom Dukes. It was Jackson that put the winning run on and had to leave the ball game injured. So the Yankees, 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors. Baltimore, 1 run, 5 hits, and no errors. Steve Klein, the winner, 9-10. Grant Jackson, the loser, 3-3. Felipe Alou now, as a pinch hitter, is 6 for 12, batting .500 with 4 RBIs. And Alou now has an RBI in his last 6 games and in 11 of his last 12 ball games. The totals in the 9th, the Yankees 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. So that's it. It's all over here at Yankee Stadium with the New York Yankees taking 3 out of 4 from the Orioles. Our broadcast coordinator and statistician is Bill Kane. Our engineer is Frank Steele. And now on behalf of Phil Rizzuto and Bill White, this is Frank Musser saying so long from Yankee Stadium in New York. Once again, the final score, the New York Yankees 2 and the Baltimore Orioles 1. Today's game was brought to you by Schaefer Brewery, New York, Albany, New York, and Baltimore, Maryland. Remember, Schaefer is the one beer to have when you're having more than one. And by the Atlantic Richfield Company, makers of Arco's Supreme Gasoline, with clean carburetors for good mileage. Remember, you may only get a little more mileage, but sometimes that's enough. New York Yankee Radio is produced in association with Hughes Sports Network.